imagine myself floating in space, turning around and looking as I turn around at all of the pillars of creation. I got into a place with the tarot, at least, where I feel like I can bring my own different perspective.
Walk through that. It really took you down. Welcome back to my channel. Look who I have here. I have Footprint Chrissy from down under.
You want to see down my throat? Yeah. Hello.
Hello. I know my tongue has its own attitude, and sometimes I have to rein that thing in so I can say things correctly. So anyhow, all right. So here I have is Footprint Chrissy. She lives in Australia, so she's on the other side of the world, literally. I think it is at 11 o'clock at night at your place. 11 o'clock.
It is 11 o'clock at night at my place. Yeah,
and it is 8:01 a.m. at my place. So when we're collaborating with everybody who lives down under, it's a chore. For sure, because we're both at the opposite ends. We're usually sleeping or awake, not at the same time.
Yeah, we can make it work, but it's just a matter of choosing the times. Yeah,
exactly. We have to become early birds or night owls in order to get this done. So
I'm not a very pretty early bird, so night owl works for me anytime.
There you go. I could do both sometimes, but anyhow, I am here and I have some questions. I just thought that I have been doing a few readers and light workers, and I've been asking them questions and trying to get to know them a little better and really produce some connection is what my goal is with other readers and with myself. Connection so that we can really understand where we come from. Because I think it is really important. The reason why I'm a reader like I am is because of my connections that I've had or my story that I had in the back as to how I got here. And so that's a reason why I think I'm really passionate about doing interviews and getting to know readers better. And I do have some questions down here. But before we get into the questions, Chrissy, go ahead and let us know, how did you get to YouTube and reading? I mean, what happened?
What happened was Donald Trump. And I was watching stories on him for the first couple of years, and I was like wanting a different take. All the same stories with the media, and they were all whinging. Not, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And not telling to me, there was so much more. And I was looking around for a different perspective, and I came across Kirsten Langston, and I just loved her. She was doing a quick and dirty, and she had a glass of wine and tarot cards, which were like she was at the tail end of one pack, and they were like bent and everything as they do get. And she's there and she's swearing her head off and all that. And I absolutely just fell for the girl. And there's always been this sort of family thing on my mum's side to do with this spiritual side. And it's something that I was aware of, but not really embraced. And then all of us, and I knew I was missing something in my life, and it sort of all clicked into place then. So I got a deck and taught myself, and then watched Kirsten. I watched Linda G. I watched Lena Rodriguez and Marianne from Revealing Light. And I read books and learned. And I would do readings for quite a while and not record them. And then I started to do recorded videos and go on from there. And then after a couple of years, I started doing lives. And yeah, that's how I got here.
So walk me through the nervousness of going on YouTube.
Well, I wasn't really nervous about doing it because I was watching videos and all that, and I was just doing it myself. And at first I started, nobody could see my face. You could just see my hair. And I would dress them up with lots of rings and stuff, but now people can't see my hands and stuff. Now you got to look at my face. So there. And then it went on, and then I started to do live and stuff, and it just sort of grew from there. And I have a very loyal, wonderful following, and I'm very open to people coming and watching and welcoming. And yeah, I really hope they like what I do. I think they like what I do because they keep joining me. And I do 3 lives a week, 2 shorter ones during the week and 1 long one on Sunday mornings, my time. Yeah, so I've been meaning to do some more videos. Just got to find the time.
Hey, some people are into the live. Some people like the videos and the editing. I like the videos and editing. I don't know why, but I really enjoy that part. Lives are okay, but I thoroughly enjoy the videos and editing. Now, I know that on your channel you have done readings for pets, right?
Yeah.
And you've done readings for what else did you did something else where you did the elements or something like that. So what is your job? What was your profession, and how did you connect your elements to what you do?
I trained as what's called a geomorphologist, which means a physical geographer, and that is looking at and studying and working with how the surface of the earth is shaped by the elements, by earth itself. Geomorphology.
Geomorphology.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. It's otherwise known as physical geography. It's not geology, but it does look at what geology creates, and once it's on the surface of the earth, how the elements, the earth itself, water, air, even fire, how they shape the earth. And to me, and you'll often hear me on my lives when I'm doing some readings, and I'll pick up the card and I'll say, as water has worn this path, it shaped this process, and in the same way. And I often equate one to the other. I then train, and of course, being a geographer, connections and location is very important to me. And then I did a master's in geospatial science, which is using geographic information systems, doing spatial analysis, and doing remote sensing, which is taking images, not remote sensing the way you do it and Whimsy do it, but looking at satellite images, UAV images, even old black and white aerial images, even oblique, which is sort of just the picture that you take as an oblique image if you just snap a photo, and studying them and doing different analyses on them to gain information about the earth and the processes and environmental information. Yeah, so that's my professional side.
I think that's fascinating because, look, I mean, we deal in the metaphysical, in the tarot cards, we deal with the elements and we can place them in our readings and stuff like that. Like water is emotions for me now, but our emotions have also, curved out or carved out who we are because of our emotions prior to. So it has done a lot of formation inside of a human being. The air we breathe, either it's clean or it's dirty, has a lot of formation of who we are, and the fire, the the element of fire, I think, is that element for me. Now, these how the elements work with me. Like fire is that destruction. Like, let's get rid of the old so that we can have the new. It reminds me of the forest. It reminds me of the yeah. It reminds me of the. And then the wind. The wind. I always see the wind as a spokesperson for the earth. I don't know why that comes to me, but this is how I, when the wind is blowing, it just feels like there's whispers on the wind. There's answers in the wind. There's information. Sometimes when it's really, really windy outside, I just love standing there and letting the wind hit my face and talk to the spirits on the breath of the earth. So I completely understand the connection you have with the elements to your readings, which I think is spot on, perfect.
Thank you. Well, the wind, which you picked up on, especially in a geographic, in a geomorphological sense, it can pick up. It can drive the hurricanes and all that stuff. So it can pick up water and take it from one place to another. The same way as when you have dust storms, the wind picks up the earth and it transports it from one place to another. So it is definitely a conduit of bringing things from a distance to a new location. So, yeah, for me, it all ties in together. And the way in which the elements in a natural science sense shapes the earth, so the elements shape up us as human beings. So yeah.
Yep. Human beings, energy, thought, all of it.
Yeah.
Incredibly important in that aspect. Without going to the text, right? This is not something I'm getting out of a text or a book. You can go read about it all you want, but this is like the connection that I have with spirit. Just like with you, you have that connection. You learn through text, but you also extracted that information and placed it into a spiritual practice for you, which I think is phenomenal. So thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. So that kind of explains the first question. What was your journey and how you got here to the metaphysical life, right? So the second question is, do you have a mentor or a favorite teacher or somewhere where you have gotten your message? Like I always say, hear the music. Where did you hear the music? Where do you go to hear the music?
I very much have a few meditations that I have saved into my view list on YouTube. And I also music. I grew up with music playing all the time, all different sorts of music, everything from rock and roll. You were playing that song earlier. I remember hearing it being played as a kid. Yeah. Music was always a part of our house, and everything from rock and roll to, I love Pink Floyd, to, the 50s music, to swing, to classical, even a few rap songs, even though I'm not really into it. There's a few that I really appreciate. And so all music of all forms, I really do enjoy. And to me, it can take me to different places, a place of energy and like Baroque music. I play that a lot when I'm working with my studies. When I want some quiet healing, I've got some cleansing music. When I'm meditating, I've just found some opening third eye chants and things like that. So I look for that. And when I meditate, I don't meditate for a long time. The most is 10 minutes.
Right.
And for me, that works for me, but I know that other people will meditate for hours. But and as for mentors, these little guys, the Kipper, I learned so much from watching you. I really did. You were my mentor there for the Kipper. Norman, used to watching Becca from
House of Lenormand. Becca from House of
Lenormand. Yeah, my
she's a champion when it comes to reading the Lenormands. Yeah.
And I learned so much from Kirsten Lineage, Lena Rodriguez, and Marianne from Revealing Light. So basically, you 5 ladies were, or 6 ladies were, gave me the basics.
Right.
Yeah. And I was doing tarot quite a while before I looked to Lenormand and then Kipper. And I got into a place with the tarot, at least, where I feel like I can bring my own different perspective. And I've started teaching that. I've had a few students and they all seem to really like how I do it. But yeah, so I like the fact that some people have turned to me as a mentor, and I love doing that as well.
Passing it on. That's our goal, right?
Challenging, not just saying this is what I think and this is what you must follow. Right. This is the rules you must follow, but challenging and making them think and saying, look, you know, there's no one hard and fast rule. So yeah. So yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So let's move on to the third question that we have here. What was your most painful lesson that brought you to a spiritual answer in your life, and prior to doing tarot cards and YouTube?
Wow. Don't invest too much in other people's doctrines. Open your mind and decide for yourself. And, as a lot of people, I was brought up Catholic. There's still some tenets of of Catholicism that I still do hang on to. But the actions of that organisation and covering up so much, it really undermined my faith in organisations' abilities to help people, because they took some very good basic tenets and just abused them, used them to build power. So it was like the lesson, it was very painful to finally say, no, look, I'm done. I'm done with that, but I'm not done with some of those basic tenets. They can apply in whatever religion, and that those basic tenets apply in all different religions. They're just stated a little bit differently. And enough, love your fellow person, don't lie, don't kill, don't, and taking them to heart, and then opening myself up to how other people feel, and now how they've coped with disillusion, with doctrines and stuff that they were brought up with. So, and how to think outside of the box.
Yep, I get that so much. I was also raised in a very strict religion, probably the opposite of Catholics. And I normally don't say that out loud, because that religion might be helping somebody, and so is Catholic, it might be helping somebody. However, I completely get where there is that one point in time where you have to separate yourself, that painful separation of what you thought was real, and then coming to a different conclusion apart from what that is. I understand that separation. Now, I understand that you had a situation when you were on the YouTube that you had made a mistake in your readings, which we all do, my dear.
Yeah.
I do it today. I think I did it yesterday. Okay. So we all have these mistakes or missteps that we hear a information, and we kind of go off on that, and we kind of whatever it was. Now, I watched you walk through that. It really took you down. Now, Catholics really love to make sure that everybody around is shame. If you've made a mistake, shameful, right? And I watched that in you. I'm like, wow, honey, it's okay even to make a mistake.
Yeah.
While we are reading, we are not perfect readers. In fact, if somebody is a reader 80% of the time, that's good stats. We're still human. We still make mistakes. We can still, get the information incorrect. Now, I watched you walk through that, and I thought it was remarkable how you're now that I understand that, like being in that Catholic religion, you feel sinful and shameful your whole life. When you make a mistake, and of course, if it's a public mistake, it can take your spirit down and take you off into a tangent of, wow, that was really painful. But the truth is, it's okay to make a mistake, right? That was the lesson. It's like, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, people. It's all right. And convincing the people who are watching you, it's all right. I just made a mistake.
Yeah.
We're good. You know what I mean?
It's a case of getting caught up in something as well, and taking something that's said and, oh, wow, but you're so caught up in it, you don't stop to think, okay, is there more to this? And then after I did the reading, then someone posted a comment that thing I did the reading about was all a hoax and everything. And I was
devastated.
Yeah.
I know, I watched.
Yeah. And it's like, but you know what? You learn. You live and learn. And in my case, it's ask for clarification, and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there that are always going to try to trick us. To fit their own narrative.
Yeah.
To fit their own narrative in their head that we're fake.
Yeah. And this person didn't set out to try to do that. I can't even remember who it was. They just thought that I knew this particular fact about this particular story, and I didn't.
Right.
So always ask for a bit of clarification.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's we all make those mistakes. So you are amongst, the human.
Fallible.
The fallible, exactly.
I'd rather be fallible.
Pretend like I'm perfect.
And infallible, and because what I'm putting out there is just not real.
I can edit that out. Okay, so let's go on to the fourth question. What was your most joyous lesson?
Oh, my most joyous
prior
lesson.
to
Prior to tarot, okay. My most joyous lesson is that even in the most heartbreaking of circumstances, little things can happen that remind us that we may have lost something or someone, but this little circumstances, that person would be laughing their butt off, so even in the most horrible, in a lot of cases. So for me, it's humor. Humor gets you through a lot, and it reminds you that it's okay to feel sad, but it's okay to laugh or to smile. If you're remembering someone who is gone, and like it'll be like somebody comes up, why are you smiling? Such and such. I'm remembering something that made them smile. That is joyous. Not that they've been lost, but that you can still remember them in a way that is good for you. Because a lot of people, if they lose someone, that's it, they're gone. They're never mentioned again. In a lot of cultures, that happens, you know, no pictures, you don't mention that person's name. And for that culture, it's fine. And I would never, ever disrespect that in that culture. For me as a person, it is, it's okay to remember the joy you had with people. So I suppose that's it.
Your most joyous moments is having a great, wonderful memory of somebody who is not with you at this point in time.
Or even people who are still with you, you know, and sharing a memory. And one of my philosophies is laugh every day, and if you can share a laugh with a stranger, even better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you receive your information from spirit? What has been your experience on how you receive it? Like, can you explain where it comes from? Or not necessarily where it comes from, you know where it comes from. Can you explain how you know that spirit is talking to you?
When the answers come, I use the cards, but sometimes, as you're aware, I might get a flash of an image or some writing across my eye, or a thought might pop into my head from nowhere. But I will look at the pictures and on the cards, and I might pull up a picture. Hang on. I'll have to get a deck of cards out here. And I might say, here, this, I just cut the cards. This picture is, you know, we're talking about where I get my information from. So it's about my spiritual dominion. You know, so that's the word. When I saw that and considered what we were talking about, dominion and spiritual dominion, that popped into my head. And I might even get a word that you think, why on earth am I associating that word with that card? Because I can't see any association. So sometimes I'll stop and think a little bit. So usually what word pops into my head when I turn the card over, it might seem completely contradictory for that particular card. But yeah, I generally go with that, and I build the picture. I ask for clarity, insight, and objectivity. I do feel that objectivity is important. Yes, sometimes I do give in, and I might call someone by a name, like by a nickname or something. But I generally try. Objectivity is very important to me.
What was that?
That's my phone. I set an alarm for 11:30 because I thought we were actually getting on the thing together for 12.
All right. So, so the last question is, what is your idea of power or God or higher power? What is your idea? What is your concept of spirit?
Universal. Many years ago, I remember seeing a headline for an article, and I did read it, but I can't really remember the details of it. But I was so struck by the headline, the title of the article, and it was on the front of a magazine, New Scientist or Science or something like that, and it was looking to the cosmos to find the face of God.
What? Say that one more time.
Sorry, looking to the cosmos.
Looking to the cosmos.
To find the face of God.
To find the face of God. Okay.
Yeah. And just that whole thing of, I'm a geographer. Everything is connected to everything else. You know, Tobler's first law of geography is everything is related to everything else, but nearer things are more related than farther things, okay, more distant things. But the cosmos, it surrounds our little planet. It surrounds us, and it is and it has an energy of its own, and it helps us. It taps into us, or we tap into it, looking for answers in whatever way we want to picture it. People might disagree with me, thinking that the higher power or God is the cosmos around us. That's fine. But for me, it's the universe, spirit. One of my favorite meditations is I will close my eyes and meditate, and I will picture all of those images from the Horsehead Nebula that the Hubble telescope.
The what?
All the pictures from the Horsehead Nebula.
Horsehead
Nebula. It's a gaseous cloud in space that the Hubble telescope took. My favorite T-shirt is I got it from the Smithsonian, and it shows what's called the pillars of creation. And sometimes I will do a meditation, and I will take that picture, and I will close my eyes, and I will imagine myself floating in space, turning around and looking as I turn around at all of the pillars of creation, those gaseous nebulous clouds that are out there in space. So for me, it is the universe provides that higher power to me. And that's why I always not just ask for help from my guides of the highest truth and compassion, but also of the universal spirit. So, yeah.
Very nice.
I'm a mix of science and
wonderful.
The physical and the metaphysical, I guess.
Well, it makes sense to me. If I'm looking for a power, that power that holds the universe together is what I want to tap into, because that's pretty good power, right? There's something that holds us all together. And I don't know if we have a human name for it. I don't know if we have the language to describe it, to be honest with you. That power that holds the universe and our little world and our little house into our little bodies, you know what I mean? All together. Something holds us there. And
the most important thing about my relationship with universal spirit is to respect it as well, and treat it with respect, because I'm asking for information. I'm asking to tap into their energy and the knowledge, there. And it has to be done with the utmost of respect, which is why I strive for that objectivity, and why I try to stay away from like even the most well-deserved nicknames and stuff like that. But I do slip occasionally. Kimberly Guilfoyle, I cannot help it. She's Kimberly Gargoyle. I
haven't achieved that high.
There's always, but you know what? I think it's a little bit humbling when you do slip and you do give into that, because it's just a reminder that you're human. You're not omnipresent, and you're not above everyone else in how you conduct yourself. So it's so important to be part of the community, not above it. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. All right. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. If you've made it this far, I hope that you got a lot out of this. I think it's wonderful to get to know readers like you don't know them, right? Because when we get on our channel, we don't really go into our personal stuff unless we're, jolted into it. But thank you so much. Thank you, Chrissy, for doing this. And
you're welcome.
I will see you on your channel. Every once I lurk a lot. Sometimes I don't post.
You're a lurker. You're one of my lovely lurkers.
Yeah, I'm a lurker. Well, the reason why is sometimes I don't have time to answer all the questions, or, when you get into the chat, you kind of have a whole bunch of, and sometimes I just don't have time to do that. So sometimes when I'm driving, I'm listening or whatever. So just remember, Sheila's always usually out there.
I like that too. When I'm on a live, when I go and watch somebody else's live, I will just say, oh, hello, everybody, or, it says hello, greet the thing, and then hello, everybody. And occasionally I'll go in and say, oh, hi, everybody, and all that. Yeah. But, yeah, it's like I'm there to watch the reader and all that. And I think my hellos and all those more personal ones too. And I've explained it to people that, so I'll say, oh, hi to everyone who said hello to me, or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of do a blanket hello and kind of leave it. Yeah, unless I'm asked a question or something. But yeah, I definitely, sometimes I just don't have time to get to be in the chat. So just know that I'm just watching. I'm sending love and light at all times.